Editing is the process of selecting, arranging, and assembling the essential components of a film. The director captures the elements of a film, but it's the editor who puts them into the movie you experience. The editor controls what you see, when you see it, and what you understand about it. Everything you see on screen has been meticulously chosen by the editor and director to be there.
For a writer, it's a word, all right? For a composer or a musician, it's a note, all right? For an editor and a filmmaker, it's the frames, all right? And you know, the 1 frame off or 2 frames added or 2 frames less is the difference between a sour note and a sweet note. It's the difference between clunky, clumsy crap, all right, and orgasmic rhythm.
The film editor's goal is to be primarily responsible for editing the movie. This role occurs after the director and producers has shot all of the movie's footage, but in many film productions, the editor's responsibility can occur way before the movie has been shot. Even during pre-production or production itself, the editor can make suggestions about lighting, blocking, and shot that will make the movie better. There are different types of editors. There are co-editors who draft scenes and sequences with the lead editor. The assistant editor does all the transferring, labeling, importing, and organizing all video files. There is a post-production supervisor who handles the entire process and the final digital export, such as scoring, sound design, sound mixing, visual effects, and color grading.
In the beginning, films were just stills from life with no real story. Films were extensions of photographs. However, it all changed with the simple cut. In the 1920s, the Soviet montage movement was concerned with individual shots and their relationship within the context of the story's narrative. Thus, the Kuleshov effect was born. The Kuleshov effect is a mental phenomenon by which viewers derive more meaning from the interactions of 2 sequential shots than from a single shot in isolation. With the Kuleshov technique, we see how 2 shots together can create a story. When we see a shot of a man and then a shot of a bowl of soup, the audience can see that he is hungry. Keeping the same shot of the man, but then switching from a bowl of soup to a girl in her grave, the message changes. The man in this case is sad, stunned with the loss of a loved one. In another instance, perhaps we see the same shot of the man, but this time, however, the camera cuts to a shot of a beautiful woman. Here, we as the audience can infer that the man is admiring the woman for her natural beauty. In every instance, even though we are seeing the same shot of the man, the changing of the shots that follow convey a different message. With each new shot creates a different story and experience for the audience.
Well, you have 2 kinds of what we might call montage. I think we call it cutting. It isn't exactly that. Cutting implies severing something. It really should be called assembly. Mosaic is assembling something to create a whole. Montage means the assembly of pieces of film, which, moved in rapid succession before the eye, create an idea.
There are 2 main types of editing: continuity editing and discontinuity editing. Continuity editing is sometimes referred to as invisible editing. This is because the point of it is that it's seamless. Continuity editing can establish the space around your characters without taking you out of the film. In this clip of Zombieland, we see the eye match rule in effect. As a character looks towards the sky, we get a shot of the sky. As a character looks behind him, we get a shot of what's behind him. This creates a seamless and almost invisible transition. Another rule of continuity editing is the 180-degree rule. This rule states that when we have two characters, we can move the camera wherever we want in an arc around the characters. However, if we go above 180 degrees, the characters' positions will be flipped, thus breaking the continuity. In this example from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, we see how the camera is flipping between two characters, but because of the 180 degree rule, the scene feels fluid. The other major type of editing is discontinuity editing. Discontinuity editing is used to deliberately pull the viewer out of the film and draw attention to itself. This type of editing is meant to be noticed. In Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless, we can see the deliberate jump cuts used to pull the viewer out of the film.
The concept is blinking. He found out he would cut at the exact time someone would blink. And so if you're thinking about it here, you're having a conversation with someone and you're talking, I'm gonna say, and that's the end of the story, and then blink. Right when my eyes blink there naturally, that is usually when he would cut. And so if you go along that principle, following kind of two principles, eye line is really important. When a person moves their eye and I start to look at the second camera, then we cut there, and you know, it makes the cut more powerful. Notice this, if I go ahead and blink, it's like that phrase was finished, and it brings you back to this camera.
There are plenty of commonly used techniques for editing. Here are some of the most prominent cuts used in film. Cutting on action. This type of cut is when the camera cuts from one shot to another viewpoint that matches the first shot's action. This standard cut is a most generic shot that can be used in editing. It is used to connect two scenes in a linear fashion by cutting while a character is in motion or action. Check out this scene from Kill Bill, which demonstrates cutting on action expertly. Cutaway. A cutaway shot is an interruption, one shot followed by a shot of something else. This is primarily used in the face of action or danger where a threat is looming closer. This is shown to great effect in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Jump cut. A jump cut is a sudden cut that changes in location. It can also be used to convey a passage of time. An example of this can be seen in the Royal Tenenbaums.
Calling some friend, trying to cash some check. He's acting dumb, that's what you've come to expect. Feeling the hay, feeling the hay.
Fade in and out. This type of shot is used to signal the ending or beginning of a scene. This was primarily used in the early days of filming. Alfred Hitchcock used this in his film To Catch a Thief.
Cross dissolve. This is a type of transitional shot used to express the passage of time by cutting from one location or angle to another. A scene using this type of technique can be seen in Blade Runner.
You show it to your husband. He likes it so much he hangs it on your bedroom wall.
I wouldn't let him.
Why not?
I should be enough for him.
Wipe cut. This is also another transitional shot used to change location. A film using this technique is Star Wars. Cross-cut parallel editing. This is a very unique shot in the sense that it pairs two scenes that are happening in two separate locations and joins them together to show that they are happening at the same time. One instance of this can be seen in Christopher Nolan's Inception. L-cut. An L-cut is when audio from a preceding scene is played with the visuals from another scene. An example of this can be seen at the ending of Dunkirk.
We shall defend our island whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
J-cut. A J-cut is the opposite to an L-cut, where the audio from a future scene is played with the visuals from the previous scene. An example of this type of cut can be seen in the opening credits of Whiplash. These types of cuts are unique because they focus on audio. They are called J and L cuts because of how they are shaped when they are being edited. In a sense, with the L cut, the audience jumps back in time, while the J cut edits have the audience jumping forward in time.
Match cut. A match cut is a short recreation of a former shot where the action is the same, almost as if there is no cut. One instance of this can be seen in the film Grease.
Come on guys, let's get to work. Yeah.
Smash cut. A smash cut jumps the scene with an audio cue. An example of this can be seen in the film Happy Death Day. Montage. A montage cut is primarily used to convey passage of time and to give information about the characters in a short amount of time. Montage sequences are taken to a new level by film auteur Edgar Wright. An example of montage can be seen in his film Hot Fuzz.
Police Constable Nicholas Angel, born and schooled in London, graduated Canterbury University in 1993 with a double first in politics and sociology, attended Hendon College of Police Training, displayed great aptitude in field exercises, notably urban pacification and riot control, academically excelled in theoretical coursework and final year examinations.
Invisible cut. An invisible cut is seamless. It's made to look like there isn't any cut at all. These cuts are hidden in darkness or with the movement of the camera. These types of edits are used mainly in one-take shots where the camera is meant to follow the characters and their movements, almost feeling like a dance between the camera and the character. An example of this can be seen in Josh's favorite movie, The Avengers.
In conclusion, when making a movie or a TV show or anything with a camera, editing has been one of the quintessential components when crafting a narrative. Without it, the audience is left with a disconnected story. Since the beginning of film, editing has been an integral part in the process of storytelling. As time goes on and new editing techniques will be developed, it'll take storytelling to levels not yet seen before.
Tenenbaums. Okay.